Hello friends, welcome to this ROSE project. Myself, Kachankar Sel. I am from HGM College, Karad. In previous lecture, we have studied chemical properties of alcohols. In today's lecture, that is lecture number 5, we are going to learn the reactions of phenols and preparation of ethers. So let us start with reactions of phenols. In phenol, if electron withdrawing group like nitro group is present, then it increases the acidic strength of phenol. If electron releasing group is present like alkyl groups, then it decreases the acidic strength because electron withdrawing group leads to effective delocalization of negative charge in phenoxide ion. So in phenol, the electrophilic substitution reactions takes place. So first reaction is halogenation of phenol. In halogenation, there are again two types of reactions. Reaction with aqueous solution of a bromine and reaction with bromine in CS2. So first reaction, that is reaction with aqueous bromine, it gives the product 2,4,6 tribromophenol. Product is 2,4,6 tribromophenol and one product, side product is a tri-CHBr. So in this reaction, the phenol reacts with solvents like chloroform, carbon tetrachloride or carbon disulfide at a low temperature, that is 273 Kelvin or 0 degree Celsius. There are two products, that is orthobromophenol and parabromophenol. Here parabromophenol is a major product. Then consider this reaction second, that is nitration of phenol. So in nitration again there are two types of reactions. Reactions with dilute nitric acid at low temperature, and second reaction with concentrated nitric acid in presence of concentrated sulfuric acid. So in first reaction, we will take dilute nitric acid. Again there are two products, orthonitrophenol and paranitrophenol. So here paranitrophenol is a major product, orthonitrophenol is a minor product. Consider the second reaction with concentrated nitric acid in presence of concentrated sulfuric acid. So a mixture of these two acids is also called as a nitrating mixture. Then the product is 2,4,6 trinitrophenol, and this product is also called as a picric acid. So this is reactions of a phenol with dilute nitric acid as well as concentrated nitric acid. Then third reaction is a sulfonation of phenol. Sulfonation means reaction with sulfuric acid. Again here two types of reaction, and the products are depends on temperature condition. When phenol reacts with sulfuric acid at 293 Kelvin, then the product is orthophenol sulfonic acid. So the sulfonic group attaches to ortho position. At higher temperature 373 Kelvin, when phenol reacts with sulfuric acid, then the product is a paraphenol sulfonic acid. So these two products depend on temperature condition. At low temperature 293 Kelvin, orthophenol sulfonic acid is formed. At high temperature, that is 373 Kelvin, paraphenol sulfonic acid is formed. So this is sulfonation of phenol. Then next reaction number 4 is Rimmer-Timon reaction. So in this reaction, phenol is treated with chloroform in an aqueous sodium hydroxide solution followed by hydrolysis with acid. And the final product of this reaction is a salicylaldehyde. This reaction is known as Rimmer-Timon reaction. So this reaction here given, phenol reacts with your chloroform in aqueous NaOH. The intermediate is formed, and then intermediates again reacts with NaOH. It gives this product. And on acid hydrolysis, the final product is salicylaldehyde. So this is also called as Rimmer-Timon reaction. And this is a very important reaction asked in your board exam for 2 marks. Explain Rimmer-Timon reaction. The next reaction is Kolbe's reaction. In Kolbe's reaction, the treatment of sodium phenoxide with carbon dioxide at 298 Kelvin temperature and under pressure 6 atmosphere, again followed by acid hydrolysis. Salicylic acid is formed. So this is a two-step reaction. In first step, sodium phenoxide, it is treated with carbon dioxide, CO2. Temperature for this reaction is 398 Kelvin and pressure is 6 atmospheric pressure. The first product is sodium salicylate, COONA, and this is the OH group, sodium salicylate. And this product on acid hydrolysis, it gives salicylic acid. So this reaction is called as a Kolbe's reaction. Then reaction number 6, oxidation of phenol. Here oxidation means addition of oxygen or removal of hydrogen. So when phenol is treated with chromic oxide or sodium dichromate in presence of sulfuric acid gives para-benzoquinone. So this phenol when treated with chromic oxide CrO3 or sodium dichromate Na2Cr2O7 in presence of this H2SO4, the product is para-benzoquinone. So this is oxidation of phenol. Then reaction number 7, catalytic hydrogenation of a phenol. So catalytic hydrogenation means addition of hydrogen by using nickel catalyst. So phenol on catalytic hydrogenation gives cyclohexanol. In this reaction, mixture of vapors of phenol and hydrogen is passed over nickel catalyst at temperature 433 Kelvin. The product is cyclohexanol. So phenol on catalytic hydrogenation gives cyclohexanol. Then reaction number 8, reduction of phenol. Here reduction means removal of this oxygen or addition of hydrogen. So phenol on heating with zinc dust, it gives a benzene. So phenol on heating with this zinc dust, the product is benzene plus zinc oxide. So this reaction is a reduction of phenol. So these are electrophilic substitution reactions. So all these reactions are summarized in this chart. Then we have to learn preparation of ethers, preparation methods for ethers. So first method is dehydration of alcohols. What is dehydration? Removal of H2O from alcohol is called as a dehydration. When excess of ethyl alcohol is distilled with concentrated sulfuric acid, here temperature is important, that is 413 Kelvin. Then the product is diethyl ether. Consider this reaction, 2 moles of ethyl alcohol are treated with concentrated sulfuric acid at 413 Kelvin. The product is diethyl ether and water. So experimental procedure for this reaction is, it is a two-step reaction. In first step, ethyl alcohol reacts with the sulfuric acid, then ethyl hydrogen sulfate is formed. So this ethyl hydrogen sulfate again treated with this ethyl alcohol at 413 Kelvin. Then the final product is diethyl ether and again sulfuric acid is regenerated. So this reaction, it is also called as continuous etherification process because sulfuric acid regenerated is reused. Therefore, process is continued by adding ethyl alcohol. Therefore, it is called as a continuous etherification process. So for formation of ether, the temperature is important, that is 413 Kelvin. Substitution is favored at 413 Kelvin. If we increase the temperature, then elimination reaction takes place, that is dehydration takes place, and the product is alkene. This method is useful for preparation of simple ethers. Simple ethers means both alkyl groups are same, attached to oxygen. These are also called as symmetrical ethers from primary alcohols. Then second method for preparation of ether is Williamson synthesis. So in Williamson synthesis, alkyl halide reacts with sodium alkoxide. Sodium alkoxide, here general formula is given RONA. The sodium alkoxide reacts with alkyl halide. Then the product is a ether ROR- plus sodium halide NaX. Or you take example, that is sodium methoxide CH3ONe. When reacts with methyl iodide, then here NaI is a byproduct and ether form is CH3OCH3, that is dimethyl ether is formed. Then we take the example of phenol. Phenol, when reacts with NaOH, it gives sodium phenoxide ion. And this sodium phenoxide ion, when treated with methyl iodide, then it gives anisole, that is OCH3 methoxybenzene. Anisole is also called as a methoxybenzene. So this is a Williamson synthesis. In Williamson synthesis, sodium alkoxide treated with alkyl halide, then the product is ether. Then consider this reaction. In this reaction, sodium tertiary butoxide is taken. Sodium, and this is CH3 thrice C, means with oxygen, means tertiary butoxide. Sodium tertiary butoxide reacts with a primary alkyl halide, that is CH3Br methyl bromide. Then it gives tertiary butyl methyl ether and sodium bromide. If secondary or tertiary alkyl halides are used instead of this primary alkyl halide, the reaction leads mainly to alkene formation, that is elimination reaction takes place. If we use this secondary or tertiary alkyl halide in this reaction, then there is a elimination reaction takes place and there is no formation of ether. Consider this example, tertiary butyl chloride. It is a tertiary alkyl halide. This is a tertiary butyl chloride, reacts with sodium ethoxide NaOC2H5. Then there is no formation of ether. Here alkene is formed because here elimination reaction takes place. And the alkene form is isobutene plus ethanol and NaCl. So remember, in this reaction, only primary alkyl halide they gives ether. If we use secondary or tertiary alkyl halides, then the products are alkene. Then what are the limitations for this Williamson synthesis? The first limitation is best yield of unsymmetrical ether is obtained when alkyl halide is a primary and alkoxide is a tertiary. Second limitation, secondary and tertiary alkyl halide gives alkene instead of ether by beta elimination. And most important limitation is third limitation, that is aryl halide do not give Williamson synthesis. Aryl halide do not use Williamson synthesis. So these are main three limitations for Williamson synthesis. Thank you.